This conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
All righty.
401.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find something. I will call our meeting to order. We are down one member this evening.
That's the agenda. I got it.
It's all right. We need to approve our minutes from the last meeting, or we can table those to our next meeting. That's our choice.
I've reviewed them.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
4-0.
Next up, we have a review of our report.
And this is a report going to the select board.
Correct.
It's not the one that is being submitted for printing in the annual report.
That was a one-pager.
That's the one
That was
pager.
a one-pager.
Yep.
Just want to make sure we're clear.
Yep. So Brian did the second half, I did the first half. I glued the two together, and here's what you got. So basically just following the structure of what we called our particular sections or items, and I just followed Brian's model of item. We can say section, say item, it doesn't matter to me. I tried to keep my writing as simple as I could, and I stole whatever I could from the information we got in the original letter about what's going on here. So on a recommendation, do we want me to read it out loud, or do we want to just read it and you give me edits?
Can we talk first?
Sure.
This is, in my mind, this is a report that we're giving to the select board.
Correct.
And we're saying to the select board, here it is, here's priorities,
Right,
here's
correct.
what we touched and what we didn't touch,
Right.
and what we're gonna touch in the future,
Yes.
okay? And I'm thinking we need to keep it as simple as possible and, 2 pages, kind of, not necessarily. So I bled all over what he sent us.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you did too? And I think, we get into the weeds here a little bit too deeply. So what I'm looking, when I went through it, was kind of trimming stuff out.
I have no problem with that as long as everything in the integrity of the document stands. I always let people ahead of what I write, that's fine.
So can I just add something? So yesterday, after receiving the completed document, the Google Drive, I went in, I saw a lot of typos and stuff.
Yeah.
And I corrected them, and that's in what I passed out earlier today.
Okay.
I added the few addendas to the end. The initial request for the $18 million, the narrowed down request to two different numbers, because I included the 4 items that the highway department, and the 3 items of the highway department, the 1 item the school, the vehicles and piece of equipment that they're going to purchase using operational expense. And I included, just said that, I included those numbers in there, and I subtracted those numbers for our purposes. And then I went to the short list, the recommended list, the 1.13 million, and put that out. So that's all in here.
So what if we went section by section and just people just let us know what they think, and that way we can just.
Could we come to a consensus on a couple of things? Because I disagree with Mike somewhat. I think the report, there's some redundancy in there where we keep saying it's an initial 5-year. And I think some of those sentences can be taken out, and it may become 4 pages instead of 5.
Yep.
But I kind of think most of the sections, I think, are relevant.
Yeah.
And so I would prefer not to drastically shorten it. If the phrasing is redundant, I think it's there. I also think, I was going to make a couple suggestions that, do we want to put a very brief outline, almost like a table of contents, but at the top of the report, that just calls it an outline and then says section 1. Don't write section, you just put 1. Introduction 2, Fiscal Challenges 3, and then down at the bottom, put the appendix A, this appendix B, these,
Sure.
There. And then that way, people can do, I think what Mike's trying to accomplish is some people like myself, I'll read the first 2 pages and then skip to the final numbers and then move on. There are going to be some people that are going to be like, oh, I worked in DPW 10 years ago. I want to see what the DPW is asking for, and that information is still in there. So I feel like
That's a pretty traditional way of presenting a report too, with sections and then you put it in. I have no problem with that.
But you're saying almost a table of contents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's not, we don't want to create
It'll
it's
say-
not long enough to me to justify.
Or-
I've been scolded on this before. If it's 20 pages, you're supposed to have a table of contents. If it's under 20 pages, you don't. But sometimes when you have an appendices and stuff, and you really want people to see, if someone just wants to go to the summary,
Well,
they
first
can
of
see
all-
it's full.
There aren't a ton of sections, which makes it easy. And second of all, I think it's a good format to keep for the future anyway.
Yeah.
Because as there's more things on our agenda, it'll allow us to build that up. So I like the idea of going section 1, introduction and goals, section 2, fiscal challenges, and then going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's a good
I don't
idea.
even think you need item or section. I think you just.
No,
need
just a
1,
number.
2,
Yeah.
1. You
Yeah.
could do A, B, C. If you had subsections, I would say go A 1 point, but if we don't have any subsections, I would just go 1, 2, 3.
There's nobody dialed in, so
But
Just-
we're being recorded and it's being saved for the future.
But, no, I know, would you like me to put the Word document on the full screen and we could just alter, we can modify it right now?
If you want to take the liberty to do that, I'm all in.
I can't read the screen from here, so I'm gonna go with paper.
I
Yeah.
would say, Mr. Chairman, from a structural standpoint for this meeting, somehow when we talk about edits, there should be a quick consensus so that Brian can make it. If there's not a consensus, we got to pause so we can talk about it without
I've lost
without me
control of my
over-talking
meeting
it.
yet again, but that's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine. I don't think it's gonna be that drastic a set of changes that we're gonna make, so. The first one is the whole thing about sections, which we can add in after this one. All right, so going section by section.
Brian, did you get that, or do you want me to take more notes about
Well, I think
what was decided?
Well, we're just gonna put a table of contents in, and
yeah,
I do have,
Okay.
you want the appendix, I called it addendum, I don't know why I called it
All right.
addendum, because
Yeah,
it's.
we can show you the first one, but let's skip down to the section, just to be able to talk.
I can't say, so
You're not here.
if you need anything.
Okay,
I do, but not related to this committee.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't get to the package store yet, so sorry.
Okay.
Can't help you out
No,
there.
it wasn't that, but anyway. I like the deli, pound of 20, thinly sliced.
Yeah, we'll catch up, 'cause
Yeah.
I know what you probably want.
or roast beef sandwich, one or the other.
Thank you, and,
All right.
nice job on the draft, I thought it.
Thank you.
looked good.
I didn't send it to Eric and Linda. This was just us with you.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fine, yeah. And we'll talk about the, select board.
Okay,
Okay, thanks, Steve.
all right, so,
Line 1.
Yep.
It's the division of local services.
on the
Not
mission.
not the mission of local services. So-
They're up on a hill with a monastery there.
Right. The actual title is.
No, it's division. I don't know.
Okay.
That was a spell check thing that it said, oh, it must be anyway.
And throughout,
Hold on, can you put a comma after services?
We're doing grammar too, wow.
Just read through, Mike.
Sorry.
no, just a general thing. The correct title for this group
Yeah.
is the Capital Improvement Planning Committee.
No. It is it?
Well, that
Yes.
was one of my questions. But some places there was we, some places there was committee, some places there was something else. I think it should be consistent, and so I would vote.
We are
to call it committee,
the,
Or vote to call it CPOC or CPAC or.
we are the,
Whatever we are. There's CPC. and then
So
one-
item E,
Capital Improvement Planning Committee. You're wrong.
CICD.
Okay, so
so that needs to be almost a find and replace.
yeah.
kind of
And
issue,
it's everything is
Brian.
CIPC.
Okay.
Thank you.
Which is,
Okay,
okay,
Okay, so what are we gonna,
there, do a find and replace. We might have to just search it line by line too, because it's like 4 different
Well,
changes.
To do it properly, after the purposes and creating of the capital planning policy committee, you should put in parentheses, C.
IPC, but that's not, you
Because
know
they
what?
need to know what that means, or somewhere up there, you need to say,
Yeah,
the CPIC. or-
this is one that instead of you trying to figure it out here, I'll figure it out looking at the laptop at home. It'll be a lot easier.
So am I changing this policy to another?
Yeah, you're changing capital, it's the Capital Improvement Planning Committee. That's the name of the committee.
However, where are you?
He's in the second sentence.
Okay, that is,
Wow, it's first.
they created the capital planning policy, period.
Right.
This is capital planning policy,
Okay.
no committee,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
okay?
There you go.
Get rid of committee,
This is where Mike should stand for his edits. This would work out really well, actually. I'm not trying to be funny.
and then change that improvement to planning.
Oh, so it was correct.
They created a policy. Within the policy later on is where we create the capital improvement planning committee,
Creating a proper policy for the planning and maintenance improvement. Yes, okay.
okay?
Okay, the
And-
last sentence
Can I
recognizes.
just make a pitch back to my keep it simple, stupid? Is in the very first sentence, we're talking about setting aside 1/2 of 1% of the general fund for the operating budget for the continuing, da. That to me is way in the weeds.
Well, the only thing I would suggest is that phrase or portion of that sentence could be moved down below under fiscal challenges, because then it supports the fact that there's a fiscal challenge. And I think it's important to say, because one of my questions when reading this, which is not an edit, is after this season, I would like to investigate that 0.5%.
If you read the policy, it says the town will strive.
Yeah, but
To set
are we
aside
gonna,
0.5.
yeah, but I think some towns are setting aside 3%.
And I don't think we should put,
We can strive.
I don't think we should put the 0.5% inside the fiscal challenge. Because, that adds too much weight. I don't mind moving it to another location,
Okay.
but I don't,
Well, you guys, if it's out, that's fine. I was just surprised by how
So-
low it was.
So,
Wanted
yeah,
it to
this
be a
is the correct
discussion
title
over
here.
the summer.
Oh, remove the word and.
there we go.
Okay.
I think, honestly, I'm gonna push back on that one. I think it's important to set where it came from and what it's for right away, and then we don't have to talk about it again.
Okay. I just,
I'm indifferent. We can put the 0.5 as many times as we can, just to show that.
Yeah, but
It's really a low number.
yeah, I think it shows that, first of all, we're talking about a very small fraction of the budget. And second of all, that there is a source of funding that has been identified for that, and that is it.
I had a suggestion at the very last portion, which was that only identifies needs. And I was gonna say, and prioritizes them between all departments.
Okay,
Don't make
that's
it
fine.
yet.
can
I'm
I,
making it longer for Mike.
No.
Hey,
so we don't identify needs.
yeah, well, that's true too.
We prioritize the needs that others have identified.
Fine, then make it, well, then make it one statement. It says prioritizes the
Power to
needs that have been
only-
identified by the individual departments.
Only prioritizes needs and priorities. Yep, that's right. That's fine. That prioritizing is a better word than identifies.
Is this a Word doc when you sent it around? Because I.
It's
Was it a Google doc?
It's a Google Doc.
I couldn't find how to,
He started as a Google Doc.
does
and I
anybody
went from
use
there.
Google Docs regularly? Because can
No.
you suggest edits and then not have them accepted?
Prioritize needs. others have
I'm not sure what you're saying. If you,
On the top left?
yeah.
you
No,
can-
in Word,
document.
everybody used to be able to put a different color set of comments
Oh.
in there. And then you could have this meeting and we could go through and
Right,
say, are
right,
we doing
right.
the pink, the blue, or the yellow?
I'm not familiar enough with Google Docs
I'm not
yet,
either.
so.
I'm just getting up to speed since I.
All right, so what was your addition, Mike, that you wanted to put down there?
Just that we would prioritize the needs
Okay.
identified by others.
Okay.
By the departments.
But
Yeah.
I don't know what I wrote.
So what do this committee does not have the power to appropriate funding. We do
We do it backwards. This committee, prior to,
Only
wait,
identify,
no, I got an idea.
only prioritize the needs that others.
Flip that, say that this committee prioritizes the needs from others. It does not have the power to appropriate funding.
Yes.
Okay, go with that one.
Boom.
I just thought it was really important with all these voices out there. We're not in the business of appropriating funding, and I don't
Well,
want to
people
be.
might start coming to us saying, oh, well, you worked on that plan, how come you're not so?
Before I get a comment, there's a lag. That's why.
Okay.
That's why I'm going
Oh,
back.
is there? That's gotta be frustrating.
All right, so
It's gonna be prioritized.
can you type in and catch us up or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
All right, is that all the changes for the introduction section?
It's just,
Wow, that's annoying.
That's a long
That's
lag.
fine. That's not even a lot.
Oh, no, it's not that bad of a
So
lag.
go ahead.
All right, section 2, or
No,
item
let Brian-
2,
I meant let Brian finish.
by town departments,
sounds,
by town departments.
we do not,
Right,
have
have the power to appropriate funding. I just think that should be crystal clear.
Spend cash.
Yeah. All right, section 1, we're good?
Yes.
Good enough?
No.
All right. Section 2 there, fiscal challenge, that was short.
As a committee, comma. And then I suggest we change the last phrase to provide guidance and support for the prioritization
Ooh, okay,
of the most critical projects.
I like that.
Can I, okay,
What did you
What
want?
do you want?
no, keep going. Do what he said.
What he said.
And then delete which need to be undertaken.
And what was your addition, Mike?
You wanted to take that whole section out.
No, no. Oh, yeah. I wanna put the word capital right in there.
Oh, okay.
So we specifically, it's only capital projects that we deal with.
It's reinforcing.
Reinforcing that we are focused on capital, lowercase.
Okay, so
Excellent. See how much I'm not crying with all the edits?
I know, I used to cry when people would write up my reports.
Never
and stuff
bothered
like this, but then when I started reviewing, if I wrote something myself and then I went to it 3 days later, I was like,
This is garbage.
I missed all this.
All right,
hated when
Well, what you
when
think,
they
you don't
destroy
necessarily
perfection.
all right, section 3, long and short-term needs. Because of the very short timeline,
Can we insert working?
where's working?
Very, very short working timeline.
Sure.
Oh, I wanted to take out because of the very short timeline and just say, the committee during this initial year examined only the first year of capital projects due to the compressed timeline.
That sounds better.
okay,
Oh, I like,
that's good.
that's
I
fine.
thought it was tough to not start a phrase with because.
He's done this before.
See. Say again what you said.
The committee during this initial year
During this initial year, we let them catch up right there.
we've examined it should be.
Only
examined
the-
Only,
Yes, it's only the first.
only the first year of capital projects, which need to be, I'd have due to a compressed timeline, I think should go somewhere.
Okay, this, the committee during this initial
I
year,
think you could take out which needs to be addressed.
okay, that's, yeah, that's
Capital
some,
projects,
yeah,
and then put due to compressed timeline.
or you start with that. Due to a compressed timeline, the committee during this year examined, yeah, that reads better, actually. Start up before the committee.
Okay.
Right there. I think it'll read better.
Timeframe.
Timeline, frame, whatever. That reads nice, actually. But you don't need the committee examined, you don't need during this initial year. You can say the committee examined only the first year of capital projects.
Since you, yeah. It's better.
That's cleaner too.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
All right. Let's see if Mike has any other edits.
I will examine first.
One more in the second sentence. It should be led and not lead, take the A out.
And I made that the office of the town manager. So it's the school department, the Department of Public Works, and the office of the town manager.
Okay.
As long as we're consistent, yeah.
Yeah. And where's your lead? Oh, the first letters. And the office of the town. I have no problem with it either way, office of the town manager or town manager.
And then, Mike used to live.
Yeah, so are the, which are,
Yeah, those are ambiguous. So
Those were
I
from the
changed it-
literature, so I.
So I changed it to at intervals of every 5 years.
This was right out of the language in here, so.
Oh, at least every 5 years. And then at the very end, put, and have a useful life of more than 5 years.
You know what I thought of doing
No,
when I was writing
like
this,
that.
which I said, asset purchases which have a useful life of at least 5 years, and left the other gobbledygook out, and then I put that back in. I don't know whether everybody needs to
I
know the rest of it.
scratched the gobbledygook.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
yeah, scratch, I think it just makes
It
it
would look
confusing.
confusing to me, because it
Yeah.
was 5 years twice.
It was what they wrote in the original letter, but I don't like it.
So asset purchases which, delete all of this and go to which amount to more than 20,000 and have a
Right.
useful life of at least 5 years.
Correct.
There you go. Perfect.
Let me hear him. That's him.
Hit the save button every now and then.
File save as.
I think everything's auto save.
And
I don't trust-
if you're in Google Drive, it is.
To the left, it's back above save as. Oh, you wanted to do save as.
Now, having said that here, do we need to say this here?
Or wait till you get to my parts.
I know, it's gonna be redundant.
And that's. Or-
Does it say, what was your question?
Or, having said, we only examined the first year is with the efforts of the.
Did we
owners.
already say we were gonna do a 5-year plan previously?
No.
Well, I wrote a paragraph to put in here. Can I read it?
Sure.
The identified high priority needs in ranked order in this report represent only the highest of the FY26 capital needs. We will work with the town manager, the school, DPW, and other departments to develop the framework, tracking mechanisms, and request forms to create a systematic 5-year capital forecast. This should be fully in place for FY27 and beyond.
Sure. That works.
I thought you wanted to shorten it.
So moved.
I want to get rid of this.
All right. Did you type that into your draft?
Yeah.
All right.
We can-
So-
We can put it on.
Yeah. I'm saying you could just show it to you.
Can he read it? Because I know he could read it.
That's what I was asking.
That's absolutely. So I'm gonna take the whole paragraph out
This one.
Yep.
This short guy.
and add.
We'll add the Mike amendment.
Okay.
I like the way you wrote that much better than what I did. Can you see I was starting to get tired as I was writing there? Oh, you left aligned everything with the dollar signs? I see.
Are we on 4 yet? No, sorry.
Just
I'm
about.
not rushing, Brian. To make sure I didn't nod off.
Go ahead.
There's somebody I know at work who's a one finger on each hand typist. She can type 65 words a minute, and it's blurring the way she goes.
Broke 4 fingers in
Oh,
this
yeah.
hand.
There you
It's
go.
very difficult for me to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, do you want us to type?
I'm fine with it. I mean, if
You're
want to
doing
do it,
great.
You're fine. I mean,
when computers, when the whole first came out, computers and electronic stuffs and whatnot, I had a secretary that would type. Then she'd have to stop and wait for the machine to catch up.
That's right.
And it was amazing. She would do 110, 120 words a minute. And she'd just sit there and wait for it to catch up. And she could talk while we were doing it.
Yeah.
While she,
The good old days.
Well, truth be told, guys, I have Parkinson's. So, which is why you see me shake. And typing has become more of a chore than it used to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, it must be frustrating,
Yeah.
among other things.
Yeah.
dictation to translate to.
Yeah, I've used that some on my computer.
And with good success?
I haven't really pushed it lately. I started a little bit and then I paused. And then I'm thinking about on a few new projects, I'll try it out.
It's gotten much better.
Yeah, because at first it was frustrating.
They pushed the envelope 20 years ago, it was, they have to train for your voice and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, even in the last 5 years, I would write letters while I was in the car, just press the button, record button.
The problem with that is sometimes they don't get the proper tense.
Well, you got to,
yeah. And you get in trouble.
You can't say send like a voice to text.
Systematic. Systemic would be causing problems, so. No swear words.
We're being recorded.
To infinity. The only thing I would change is this will be in place. Instead should, I would change it to will.
Well, okay.
And I should change the year. I'm gonna put FY 27 like you have written.
Yep.
Like we have everywhere else FY. Right, and what's the other one?
The should be a will. That's what I think. We're saying we will create a system. It won't be perfect, but we'll create a system.
We will be, oh no, this should.
So you want to make that
This will-
commitment in writing?
It's not gonna be hard to, it's not gonna be
He wants
impossible.
to change that should to will,
Okay.
this one right here.
You could say our goal is that this will be in place
Now,
if
the
you want to.
grammar Nazi, so the identified high priority needs and represent singular, so change this to the,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
and then represent singular, not plural.
Yeah, this will be fully in place by 4/20, that's great.
Okay, here's where we get the meeting. So, beat me up.
No,
After 24, you should have a comma, I think. Oh, you have a period? You then,
Yes.
so here's where we're running into it's the
Capital, whatever. If that's capital, blah, blah, blah.
Capital Improvement Planning Committee is our official title.
Couldn't just call us the capital planning committee. They had to make an improvement out
I
of it.
like CIPC.
CIPC,
CIPC?
yeah.
Okay, met for an initial meeting on 11/24, or 11/25.
I suggest we take out being with this the initial year of the process, because we've said that a couple of times.
Okay.
I'm not making a big dent, like small dent.
That's fine.
Of the second paragraph, so being with this. the
Um,
initial year of the
Oh, I
process.
wasn't sure whether you guys, I'm not sure that this $10,000 thing should be in here or not.
Yeah, I just Xed this, we voted to consider.
Right.
I have
It'll come up as a
that
discussion
sentence.
later. Let's just leave it alone.
Okay, so you want me to delete from where to where?
This last sentence.
Instead of some changes, I suggest some revisions.
Requesting some.
That's-
Where are you? Which,
The review board departments and
Review departments
completed and will be
request
requesting
forms.
some.
Second paragraph, end of the first sentence. The word changes, I suggested we make it revisions.
There you go.
It doesn't have to be, I just.
So I like revisions. What did you mean by traditional information?
The stuff that they normally gave prior to this year, the form that they used for years.
Okay,
Yeah, that's.
I think reasoning at the end of that sentence should be changed to either providing justification or some other term.
this process was completed using traditional information as in past years.
Prioritizing their needs with reasoning, with justification,
Their
with
needs were-
backup information, with,
Requested departments prioritize their,
reasoning,
how about this? The years, in the past year, with the exception of requested departments, prioritize their needs.
how about just prioritize the request?
Prioritize their
Period,
needs,
sure.
period, is what I was getting at, yeah.
Yeah. So just take out the words with
With
reasoning.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't do it with any reasoning, we don't know.
No, no, no.
well, and reasoning is sort of
Prioritize, no, good,
how
it's
they
not there.
decided, not what they used to make the decision.
Their requests, period. There have been a total of 70.
I'm a hat fan.
That's Danish.
All right, then,
That wasn't bad. All right.
You know,
Okay.
I suggest we put FY '26 in item 5's title. Instead of pending projects, say FY '26.
yes, I agree with
Oh,
that.
I like that. Change pending to FY '26.
And do we need to have the word list?
How about just high priority FY '26 projects?
There you go.
All right. So change projects to after priority?
High priority,
FY '26 high priority project.
yeah, FY '26 high priority projects, that works. And I think we're gonna have to put tables in this, to make this, I'm happy to do it, but I think we should put tables in this, it looks a whole lot better than with
I
the
agree.
sliding left and right.
I can,
Well, and then these, do you bulletize it with A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, something like that, so if you move them around, you can read.
well, I can simply, just, do a snip and make a.
Yeah, it doesn't, like, don't
Insert
even,
it.
you can insert a table, I think it just looks better, that's all.
Well, my other comment on this subject is I think you need to do better. We need to do a better job with the identifiers.
Meaning,
Public works vehicles, mechanical equipment, whose mechanical equipment?
Oh, you're talking down the road.
No, in
just
that- in that
table,
chart.
I think when people look at it, they could get confused.
Okay, the reason I use that is in our list that we were provided,
right,
that was the description. It was if you look in the back of what it gave
This
you.
is just discussion. I
No,
don't-
I know.
No revision, because my other comment was, do we want to group them together? Like mechanical equipment, high priority
I
mechanical?
want to play with this paragraph.
Okay, we'll go back.
My point is just go back to it. Do we want to change that or do we have to change it everywhere? Or would we-
Oh, it was only, I don't know, we should get consensus. Let's finish that paragraph and then have everybody.
Here's my suggestion is change the word with to the word compiling.
That's not short.
You're not gonna hear the end of it, Mike.
I'm gonna do this in lowercase.
You know, we should have done a word count prior to.
to Mike starting and after, yeah.
Yes. Just for ha's.
All outstanding, put in the word outstanding requests, outstanding there.
Compiling
as well as copies of individual.
How about instead of compiling, which includes?
I don't know. I don't,
It doesn't matter.
the committee was provided with the spreadsheet compiling.
You don't like that?
I don't
I
like
like
the-
outstanding,
Okay, then,
because that means they've already approved a bunch of requests,
Okay, then
and the
take out the
remainder,
take out the word outstanding.
Compiling. How about all current requests?
I mean, we gotta give them, there's gotta be some inference that it's the request that we're giving to this committee.
Right.
I'll open requests.
Open.
Okay, I'll open, that's fine, yeah.
Sure.
You only get one word at a time, Brian, because you're doing the actual typing, so.
I was doing it on this.
These requests include the remaining.
And I said that the numbers were a staggering total, staggering total of $18 million.
I was kind of few letters out. I would go for that.
The numbers were quite staggering in total. I think it's fine the way it is, but.
Either
whatever.
way.
Yeah.
Why is we're inferring some stuff, you know?
Yeah, I like it though. I think it's real. 18 million is real money.
I put that, I wanted to,
Mhm.
so what are you gonna do?
That's-
Especially right now.
That's
we have
just-
some discussions
that's
going on.
important.
Bring attention to it.
Yeah.
Almost another town
Here's
budget,
a
right?
starting point if money were no
All
object.
right, so in further review, we discovered the school department included FY, I don't know if we didn't need to put that in there or not. I think we should just say current FY26 and leave it at that. Because that only confuses the reader.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
think
level
that
of
sentence-
detail.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not denying it's not true, but I just think it's gonna confuse the reader.
I think both those sentences could go.
Because we put up here, open requests. And
Yeah,
This is the same thing.
All right, so let's simplify. Just rid of those last two sentences or whatever you wanna call it. From the, stop right there and get rid of the rest. There you go.
See, I listen.
You get the prize.
So does anybody else feel like if you're a layperson and weren't in this committee, you look at that list and it's like, okay, so the public works is vehicles, but then who is the mechanical equipment? And then who is the other equipment? And then there's public works with no definer after it, medium priority. So is that the subtotal of public works? Is 1.8? I know it is, but I'm asking that question.
Sure.
So were you gonna do that with the speed table? I mean, insert a.
He's gonna summarize, he's gonna put a few of them together in a small, decrease the number of categories, I think.
Why don't you get into my phone?
Can you do me a favor, I need to call my wife.
Oh,
Are you serious?
sorry. Do you
I'm
want to?
serious.
Oh, you're gonna ask her to read this and it's just the same?
Thank you.
What if we,
It's not an emergency.
I don't think so.
I've got maple syrup boiling in the barn and I didn't turn off the fire.
Oh, coffee's still on in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now that she's at the library.
do you need to run home and take care of it? We don't wanna have a fire in your barn, my friend.
Or spoil the syrup.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay. You wanna leave your copy? We can work with it?
Everything else the only other thing that, Brian, I love you,
Uh-oh.
but to list out the actual individual dates of when we met. And
Yep.
I thought that was a bit,
I did that. I'll be right, there's a reason.
Okay, so-
There's a reason I did.
So let's figure out a simple way around your question, which
Did
is,
she not answer because it was Brian's number? That's the only other question I would have.
no, I'll be right back.
so I think that we could, say that, we could summarize some of this together. Like, building mechanical equipment, et cetera, and group this into larger amounts, but smaller number of categories. Or we can say a breakdown by, department is summarized
Well, I
below.
just think, what's the fourth line? Public Works.
That's the new building.
Be a priority.
That's the new building.
So we go on the very first.
Yeah, but,
addendum
listen,
there.
this is a naming convention discussion. It says public works vehicles. Shouldn't it then say public, whose mechanical equipment is it? Because if we're saying whose it is,
It's the towns,
It's town buildings.
it's town buildings.
Okay, so,
So it's air handling units and stuff like that. Throughout the town, throughout the entirety of the town. It doesn't include the schools though. It doesn't include. The
okay,
schools.
so I think that it should say public work vehicles, public work equipment, other equipment, public works, building, let's specify what it is. So if we create a table that has 4 columns in it, the first column would be what area it is, the second column would be what it is, the third column would be priority, and the last column would be the price.
So number 3, that is equipment.
other equipment, whose other equipment is that?
It's fire department,
Right.
WWTP, whoever that is, and public works. There's 3 different.
Town department, other equipment. I would add 2 words at the most, I wouldn't add more than 2.
No, that's why I think if we put it in a table, it'll be really
Yeah.
easy.
But we're still gonna have to rename it. So
Yeah, I'm just saying it'll work out a whole lot easier with the table, because you can.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna write it right here,
Mhm.
I'm happy to work through that
Okay.
while we're waiting for Mike.
public works vehicles.
Good.
Okay. Highest priority.
Town building mechanical equipment.
Is it plural or things? Town buildings mechanical equipment, or just town building? Yeah, it should be plural.
Okay. Other town,
Other department equipment. That's the radios and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's other
that.
stuff.
other
And town.
departments. Let's see what it is. Equipment, medication IV infusion pumps, floor scrubber,
You know what? There might be an even easier way to do this.
UV
Which is-
disinfectant, stuff like that.
What is the next thing below it in the document? Not that, this. Next thing is the process, blah, 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 blah. So maybe what we really need to do is it's totaled 18 million and just, here.
Hold on.
I think it's fine, I'm just talking about the naming convention.
No, that's what I'm trying to work out, so it comes out nice and even.
No, but why don't we just, to make this short,
Yep.
just put in initial request compilation, $18,741,16.
And stop right.
Master list of all priorities, all considered priorities, bring it down to 7 million.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe it's too soon to go through the detail of that.
742.
Oh, you're saying move it down.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna.
Get rid of all this and just give the total and just reference these.
I actually like those 2. I would say
And
that
those two are easier to understand.
those 2 are very easy to understand.
Now, this is just.
So I would agree that you could almost take that.
Take that, put it at the back of the document, don't kill it, because you put it together and maybe we'll reuse it somewhere else.
But it is in the back of the document.
No,
No.
I'm saying
Take that,
copy and paste that on a
To the-
draft page that shit we might use later.
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
We're being recorded. I should-
That is important items which we may need later.
Yes, yes.
Right there.
It's like when you have extra slides on your PowerPoint,
Yep.
just in case you're
Yep.
not done yet. Maybe put reserved or.
You don't even have to say anything. We can kill it later if we want to.
Okay. As long as people know after
Yeah.
the meetings.
All right, beautiful. That really helped, because then we stand with 18 million, and then we say,
Hold on, I'm not there yet. So you copied it and pasted, but you didn't cut.
you didn't cut it out.
So
Yeah,
go ahead and cut out.
Now you can cut that out now.
The breakdown by department down through total 18 million. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah, and then the breakdown by department, take that word out, take that phrase out.
And then as the process moved forward, capital planning met on the following dates.
Are we keeping that? Mike was suggesting that he loves Brian, but doesn't like this.
You know, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
I think we said it previously.
We did.
I think it could be taken out.
Okay, I don't need for it to be there. We were good boys, we did what we were
Oh,
supposed
but during these meetings, we met with the town departments. All right. Maybe we could say just during the
to.
process.
So far, the capital planning committee has met on 8 different dates. Make it a positive, so far.
I would just.
To date, the capital planning committee has met on 8 different dates. And 8 different meetings, whatever. 8 times. The capital improvement planning committee.
Does he literally live across the street? He said 5 minutes.
He's up Old Enfield, not far from me. He's at the lower end of Old Enfield.
Well, he drives really quick.
He's got that fancy truck that he can go warp speed in. Is it all right?
The smoke.
Did we meet 8
Is
times?
that bad or good?
Everything, the whole evaporator. Lucky the barn isn't burning.
Is
Put it
your,
out.
do you still have any
No.
any
So-
left?
No. So all the sugars caught fire,
Oh.
the.
So you gotta scrub it out and start again?
Scrub it out and start again.
All
That's
right.
okay. At least
Okay.
the barn.
You
didn't catch
remember,
fire.
that's what's important.
The barn didn't catch fire.
So great, the capital planning committee has met 8 times. During these meetings, we met with the town departments, blah, 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 blah. That's all fine.
Where's my,
Here's your copies right here. So that part is just fine.
But I only have 7 dates, including today, not 8.
Did I count wrong? Well, no, I'm counting the 17th. Because we're meeting with the select board.
But do you want to do that as part of?
Officially, it counts as a meeting date, and by the time this gets to town meeting, it won't
Okay.
met that many times.
where are we?
We eliminated that first list. We're gonna take it up later. All right, so,
Has met 8 times? Or-
8
Or met 8 times?
has met 8 times.
Why is that important to include?
That's, yeah. I think it's the second sentence, meeting with the town departments that made the request.
Right.
During the process. we
I
met with
think,
town
the
departments
reason
that-
I think that's important, and the reason I didn't kind of take it out of Brian's version is, we're a new committee, we're meeting, and we've been trying to get stuff together. Boom, it's the only time we'll ever say it, but this year we should say we met 8 times to go over this stuff.
I put that stuff in there just so they would know the process.
It's just
that we-
context, that's all it is.
I actually don't think 8 meetings is very much for a process that's this sophisticated. So people might look at it and say, oh, they only met 8 times? This is
Well-
$18 million worth of money.
Right, and you only, wait,
Yeah, we only have 4.
All right, so there's another way to look at this sentence, which is that we could, or this paragraph, which is to
5
say,
minutes yesterday.
skip that and take out that whole next paragraph, to date the capital, take that whole thing out.
So you want this whole thing removed.
Yeah, take that out. And just let it reformat that's the piece below it. So as the process continued, right? And we're not gonna say as the process continued, we're gonna have to reformat that.
During this process?
Yeah, as a result of this process.
Okay, that's good.
we discovered or we realized?
We, learned.
We learned. Okay.
This is just an awareness piece, that's all.
Discovered implies that nobody else knew this.
Right.
In school department, we're planning on using,
I would just put,
not some, but operational expense funding for capital purchases.
I would put these, the last sentence, I would put these expenses were reported. Or these items were reported as it is the intent of the policy, or to comply with the intent of the policy.
Or here's a question. do we just stop at 18 million and then move right to the 2 reports and leave this out for this year? We all know it's there. We all know it's real. Is it gonna light a fire that we don't need this year? We don't need to chase it down.
Well, the only thing is, I think it's crucial for them to understand stuff's being paid for.
That's huge.
Yes, I do understand that, but do we
Either
wanna print that in the town? Does we want it on printed material going between us and them, or is it something for discussion now and to be dealt with later, and just
No,
determine
I
the
think
politics?
I think it highlights the reason I think we need a business professional to analyze how operational expenses are done. Not even prioritizing the capital projects, but how.
So we need some sort of bridge sentence between 18 million and as a result then. During this process, the CPIC learned many things, or that doesn't sound right.
I would just say, add these items were included.
Is the idea that people are being forced to use operational funds for leasing vehicles, et cetera? Is that something that maybe belongs elsewhere in this paper, in this report?
Oh, you know,
Under the process or under the
How about-
fiscal challenges or some other
Yes, I agree,
location?
it belongs somewhere else.
okay, so we can
But I
say
think we
we
should-
also learned, instead of as a result of this process, we also learned that both, and we could put that somewhere else in the report. So it's an
Why don't you
add-on.
do the cut?
And it's not
Take-
both
Put
public
that-
works and school. It's public works and
It's
school.
the entire
police.
town.
It's, right. So we learned that operational funds are routinely used.
But it's a more complicated question than that.
For capital purchases and vehicle leases.
I think the more I read this, the more I think we shouldn't touch it in this report. I think we should leave it alone till next year. But we can document it,
I think we should cut it and put it at the end,
yeah, and see if we want to use it again later.
yes.
I'm
We're
fine
cutting
with it.
sections out and putting them.
We're
at the end.
putting a little garbage can at the end of it to see if we want to use it.
Great idea.
And if we want to put them back.
Because
in.
I just got a feeling somebody's gonna throw something back at us on this one, and we're not.
The only thing it leads to me is there consistency? I mean,
Right.
obviously managers need flexibility because if sometimes they need to do different things. We don't know what the drivers are. But our question is there a financial thoughtful approach to how these things are being funded? And is there a way that could result in savings? That's all the reason why I should bring it up. I'm not saying it's right or wrong to do it. I'm saying,
Yeah.
is it the most efficient way?
Okay,
The answer is yes, and we'll deal with it later.
that's right. For right now,
Right now, we're worried about
Yeah.
editing,
I agree.
right.
but you're right.
No, I agree. All right, so that simplifies that whole section of the report, which is nice.
Well, we're trying to get it to 2 pages. Can you go back where we were? No, weren't we down below that?
No, that's where we were. The capital planning committee concluded with
I
not
don't
two
think
reports, it's
I don't think
two
it's 2 reports, it's 2 lists. That's
two-
what I put.
summary lists or something like that. One is a master list and 2 is,
Why don't you just make it 1 sentence? The capital planning committee concluded with a revised master list and a high priority list.
there you go. That works even better. Which are summarized below. There you go. And then it just is what it is. Public works, mechanical renovations, it's all right there.
Yep.
And then the high priority list is same idea, right?
Mhm.
Perfect.
So the master list of public works vehicles went from 900,000 to 1 million. How?
Really,
On the draft version,
oh, she added, 3 vehicles that she can,
Yeah.
leasing,
yeah,
okay.
her own fund.
Gotcha.
I included them in the total, but when you go down and you see the breakdown, you'll see that money's removed. And
All right,
what the
so-
capital expense actually concurred will be.
From this, we derived,
I know I was going. But I did have
we voted you're gonna invite us all over for pancake breakfast with your syrup, but, oh well.
yeah, forget that. Brian, you made a comment
Or skip
about,
pancakes.
oh, it's in item 6. We haven't gotten there yet. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Are you guys expecting anybody or can I lock up?
You can lock up. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're up to,
Let's just take a look at.
we'll go to the,
Nobody's on it.
all right, now keep going down. And that's the high priority list.
That's,
And then,
this is what we're recommending for immediate funding.
all right, and then the initial master list is broken down to the specific items below, right?
Okay.
Yep, in ranked order.
Yep,
And you took out, wait a minute,
the van,
wait a minute, can you move up a little bit? Instead of at the end of this report, that last sentence, revised master list of high priorities are included in appendix A,
whatever it is.
whichever one it is. Because the report actually ends before the appendices, so you need to say that it's not included in the report, it's in the appendices.
So the initial master list and revised are included in the appendix.
Yeah, it's R.
Yep.
It's just oral. A, say A, and then
Appendix.
we'll prove.
IX.
Heck. At the end of this report, or?
No, just in the appendix.
Just in the appendix,
Period.
in appendix A, yeah. Should be capital A.
Okay, now. We
So you,
are recommending to the select board that the following list of, following whatever, for immediate consideration and approval, meaning this is our top 11.
Okay.
So so this is our first recommendation to the select board. We're telling them that these are the top 11 needs of the
well,
town.
it says it, high priority list recommended for immediate consideration and approval.
I'm saying we formalize the language that we're recommending the select board, that they take a look at these.
Okay, can you just either take it out, put a sentence in, and then take it out after high priority list, or just improve the phrase, high priority list recommended? I would just do it right there.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just,
Instead of-
I just think it needs to be formalized, that's all.
The committee has recommended the following high priority list for immediate consideration and
Yeah.
approval.
There you go.
Or you could put SIPC. Would you say this?
SIPC.
SIPC.
That's recommended
For immediate consideration.
to the select board?
And I don't think approval, just for immediate consideration. And approval is a whole different ballgame.
We approved it.
Did we want to put high priority list? As recommended,
The following
the following high priority list.
high priority,
List items.
projects, needs, items. There's something, we're missing a word there somewhere. The committee recommended the following high priority
Capital
Requests.
requests.
capital requests for immediate consideration. That's fine. There you go.
I always capitalize those things.
And now you can bring back that other sentence where it says high priority and paid for with operational funds. The one that we put at the bottom.
Yeah.
We can say also we learned blah, 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 and we can list them out right there.
Also learned, or we also learned?
No, that thing that you put at the bottom of the document, go down. Keep going.
After our signatures.
Oh,
That sentence right there. That could go back now to that
I
part of the
don't know if
report.
it belongs there. That's our final recommendations. I think that,
Okay,
I don't know.
I'm just saying that's the place it could live if we ever wanted to do it, but I'm not
is there
really,
any place up front?
I don't know, but let's, just before we, so I left these here. I thought it was important to show them that these were
Oh,
being
you know what?
purchased.
How about
Right.
under item 5, pending projects?
how about this? How about this?
Other items.
How about this? Other items is fine.
Yeah, but wait a minute, you're in the, what did we call this? Trash board?
But here's a
We're not-
question.
We gotta put it somewhere if you wanna put it somewhere.
Yeah, are we asking the
No, we're
select
not
board,
at the trash board.
we're not asking the
No,
select
put it
board
down.
to approve $320,000, right?
No,
That money's already built into the budget. We're not asking them for that money, right?
right. And
So-
we're not, and I'm just letting them know that these are being,
Okay,
that
sorry.
these are
I
capital
thought you-
purchases being paid for by operational and chapter 90 funds. And when you go down, you'll see, I put right here, chapter 90 funds, operating budget.
Right?
I'm not,
In parentheses right here, supposing we put X capital consideration, or we're outside,
here's what
somehow that we didn't prioritize, we didn't handle these, but it's being done. So I'm trying to, EX.
you know what?
I think we did explain that earlier.
Here's what we're good.
But it-
I have an idea, which is gonna be similar to the previous one. Take from other items down to 320,000, put it at the end of the report, and we'll figure that out in a minute. I don't think it should be on the same page with what we're recommending, because it's gonna confuse an awful lot of people that we're asking for both when we're not. So we just have to figure out a good place to put that. It's good information, but I don't think it should be on the recommendations, same page with the recommendation.
No.
Because somebody's gonna get confused about it.
They're gonna say, wow, you recommended 1.1 or whatever, 1.8, where are we?
1.1.
1.1, but they spent an additional 400, so you should really say,
Yeah.
because you're not talking about where the money's coming from.
Right. So take that out of there.
So just remove this whole.
Just remove that from there. I'm saying it's good information, but it shouldn't be there.
Where does it go?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't have that in my head yet.
Okay.
All
'Cause I
right,
think
so
it's a
this is
discussion item for the selectmen.
this is really cool because this says on one page the top 11 things we're recommending, right? And then it becomes a where we go from there. So now let's keep going.
Let's refer to appendix.
Lists and spreadsheets are included at the back of this report in Appendix A.
It's IX again.
Darn.
Just, if we're gonna, then it needs to be a capital A for appendix.
Yeah.
Because that's its
Yeah.
title.
And it should be Appendix B now. Because Appendix A is
That's
is the
fine.
list. And
Make that a capital APP.
He said PP.
you gotta be more descriptive under lists and spreadsheets.
So that A needs to be a capital.
Oh, yeah, I had a recommendation. Can you start with individual departments, lists and spreadsheets are included in Appendix A? In front of lists, put individual departments.
Just say spreadsheets. Don't even use the word lists.
Well, because list is confusing. Which
Yeah.
list is it?
Yeah, so I'm saying spreadsheets. The
Individual.
department spreadsheets are included at the back of this report in
But they're
Appendix
not.
B.
I only did the compilation sheets. I didn't think that we'd have to send in
Okay.
each and every individual.
All right, so
That's right.
so there's a summary a summary spreadsheet is included at the end of this report.
A summary or it's a,
It's a summary.
The right here,
Yeah.
in the back. there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
they're a summary of what we talked about.
right, yeah.
Yeah, so say they're a summary.
I think that's all they really need.
Yeah, I agree.
not, but a summary, it's actually, it's a complete list of all the projects. Isn't it?
It's a master compilation.
But it doesn't have
All the details.
all the details that they provided in their.
I get that. So I'm just wondering if we put a
Just- You can call it a master list.
master list of projects.
Yeah, included in Appendix B, that's fine.
Capitalize that.
It really rocks and rolls with that heating system. All right, because we're almost in the home stretch here. Okay, so then, item 6, I think that, I think this is fine, but I think we can boil this down to basically 3 sentences.
Well, which sentences, because I have a few grammatical things.
We could say something like, it is clear that Belchertown has a lot of critical capital needs. We will work on a 5-year plan format, and we will continue to meet. We don't even have to say that. Of course, we're going to keep meeting. I think we just wind up with a nice,
When we cut
strong
this, just
statement.
do it all over again? Just start from scratch?
What, this paragraph?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it. I get no.
I think this is just like a clincher, right? Like, here we are, we got all this stuff together. Aren't we great? Let's move on.
I don't know if I would take the first sentence right out.
Yeah. Our goals how about that? There you go. Our goals for the next year are,
Or we will continue to work on a 5-year plan format.
well, I'm saying our goals for the next year are to work on a 5-year plan, to meet and continue to review request forms, requests, right? Prioritize capital expenses. Just give it a bullet list.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I don't want to get too far ahead of
So
him.
moved.
This year
Will be. And we can just put a little list below that.
will be to start.
No,
Yeah, no,
Just our goals this year will be,
And then-
colon,
yep.
and then go down and put format
Hit
for a
enter.
list. Put 1, 2, hit enter. And then put start a list. That's numerated.
All right, so,
1.
but,
We're
nothing.
probably gonna delete this bottom, but for now,
Okay.
We're leaving it there for now to pull ideas out of it.
so 1,
A 5-year plan.
Well,
5-year plan.
Oh, that was,
let me just. Come on, this freaking thing.
it's the delay that screws you up on that.
Okay, one.
Develop a 5-year capital plan.
What did they have here? This is,
Just leave it that way for now. It doesn't matter. We can fix it later.
all right, go ahead.
Develop a 5-year capital plan. Let's see, review all request forms.
Are we reviewing all,
What review request forms, it doesn't matter if it's all or not.
well, we also said we're gonna review the actual form itself.
Yeah,
Right.
let's talk.
Update the request form.
Capital.
Review all capital requests, rather, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Request format,
Forms,
format.
forms.
it's just
The
form, the
format
format is a subset of that, yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Then review all capital requests.
review all capital requests. And then what you close with, prioritize immediate needs and future needs.
Well, that's part of the 5-year
Yeah.
plan, right?
So I think we could say something nice, like it's been
Or
our
make
plan,
recommendations to the select board for revisions to the policy.
right. Make appropriate recommendations to the select board.
Do we wanna make inappropriate?
Make recommendations to the select board, that way we can get, yeah.
It's like what you get.
We look forward to working with the, just,
You do working on a closing line now?
yeah, I'll come
I don't
up with
think-
one.
I
I'll
don't
come
think
up.
we need a sounding tape.
No.
Want to ask Brian though, in your,
Disregard.
in your write-up,
Mhm.
you wrote, we will specifically reference the police, particularly paragraph B,
We're gonna be done in a few minutes.
evaluation of CIP projects. And I didn't know what you meant by that.
In the policy,
Right.
paragraph B is the list of how they instruct us to prioritize the projects.
So
We are-
what is it about the police?
And it wasn't police, it was policy. It was just a typo.
Oh,
Policy.
because I went through that.
He was thinking Phil Collins before he was on his own. It was.
No, that's not, you talking Sting, that was Sting.
All right, so,
Okay,
Collins is
no,
the Genesis.
so you weren't referring to the police
No,
department as
policy.
being an egregious.
All right, so then-
violator of-
I did this at like 11 o'clock. Well,
so then let's just go respectfully submitted by the capital planning committee, down, and blah, 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 and I think we're done. You can get rid of that paragraph. Those are 4 good goals for the year.
Hold on, you already have that.
I know, I'm
No, we're
saying,
taking that out.
we're taking that paragraph
That
out,
whole paragraph goes.
but keep it
Are we
respectfully
copying and
submitted,
pasting it or just getting rid of it?
just getting rid of it. And there we are, and I don't even know if we need that other section anymore. Any of the stuff we saved, let's take a look at it.
Respectfully submitted to the.
Yep, and that's what you're supposed to say, respectfully
Yes.
committed.
Or the capital planning committee, capital improvement planning committee or capital planning committee?
Improvement.
Well, we'll have to, if you send this back to me, I'll go through it once with like,
CPIC.
Selectboard, what is that? Nah.
it likes to make it 2 words.
Yeah, there's some that doesn't catch up.
All right, so we don't need that one, unless we want to put that back into the body of the report somewhere.
Well, you know, I think you guys made a good point. It's all here.
Yeah,
Everything, it's all here. They're gonna look at this and
if someone wants to get in the weeds, they can look at that.
they're gonna be, it's gonna be an oh shit moment for them when they look at that.
Well, no, but it's also by department, it's easier to look at and say, this is who's asking and this is what it's for
Mhm.
on that list. Whereas this is like a halfway in between a master list and the summary
Yeah,
list.
and I think it could almost confuse somebody, because of the way it's summarized. And that's not our fault, that's just the way it exists.
Okay, so I'll just,
You can exit out, we've got another version, because you named this a different,
oh
slightly
yeah,
different.
I did that.
Could you spell, Mikhail Offler's name correctly?
Mikhail, I have not spelled your name right yet.
MICHAEL. I never got it.
Michael.
That's how I do it a lot of times. That's
I
how.
thought maybe he was on
I
the
didn't
music
catch
front
that.
and he was gonna put an Offler at the end.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so if we clean
Should I
that
say
up.
Dire Straits?
Yeah, I know, I love Dire Straits. I love Dire
That's
Straits.
correct, that's correct. So when we get rid of the rest of this stuff?
He's over 70, he doesn't tour anymore either. Just sad.
Today's David Gilmour's birthday,
David Gilmour?
Yeah.
Okay.
in case anyone cares.
David does.
I got one of his guitars.
Do you?
I bought it his guitar auction. Spent a year in the Smithsonian.
Did it?
And do you keep it on the dark side of the moon? I think that's cool. All right, it's not out goals this year, it's our goals.
Appropriate recommendations, boy, did I miss.
Yeah, appropriate is the wrong word.
I would just say make recommendations.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were right, you joked about
inappropriate.
our EW.
And then our goals up there where it's out goals.
Then capitalize S.
Oh, will that go away? That's curious to me if it would go away.
I
if you
started-
capitalize it. Because if you make it prop, will it make the squiggly go?
Oh, our.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What? You know, you said it was squiggly, it tries to make it 2 words all the time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know if you capitalized the first letter that it would recognize
Oh,
it was
yeah.
proper, so it wouldn't bother to tell you that.
So this is a pretty darn good first report.
If you may say so, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. I think we need, to read it through one more time. If you want to clean it up as much as you can before you send it around, Brian, that's fine.
I will, I'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for all your
Let's
efforts.
see. I want all this to be on the same page, I think.
We'll see.
Item 6 and beyond, no, I mean.
What happens
You want
if
me to
you,
drop item 6 to be on the same page as the closing?
Well, here's a question.
When you reformat the rest of it, I think there's some spaces you can take out. You may find you're gonna get.
Yeah,
about
you
five
might,
pages.
but you're probably gonna wind up two
And
lines over.
particularly the town of Belchertown capital planning report, I thought that should be on one line, the very initial.
Yeah,
Do we want to do a quick table of contents?
Oh, that would push it back to 6.
if you put that in there, then you're not gonna have any spacing issues at the other end.
No, but it'll push everything down so long.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can move margins.
I just think that top thing should be one line, just fit it, make the font. as
Oh, I
large
just made
as
it big
possible.
for, ha-has, as it were.
And it just make it,
Improvement, and what- capital,
Improvement
Improvement
planning committee.
Oh, that might not be it.
Just make it all smaller, that's all.
Go up top and change the font to, from 21 to like,
Yeah, 12,
see if 14. You want it bigger than the,
yeah, like
is the
14.
rest of
should-
it 12 or 11?
I think it's 12. That works.
Yeah, it's not one line now. So you could make it a little bigger and bold it. Make it bold it, have it be 2 lines.
we change the date?
Oh, can you put page numbers?
Sure we can.
You have to insert a form footer or something.
You just have to go to page breakers, right there, you just went over it, right there.
no, you don't want a page break.
No, page break is putting a space in.
We want
Oh, I'm sorry,
It's,
now you got it.
to, so somewhere.
where's header and footer? That's what it
Oh,
used
it's
to
off to the right somewhere.
be. Yeah, page number. There you go.
Here
I don't know, is it gonna ask you where you want it? Oh,
we go.
yeah.
Top page.
Top, bottom,
Bottom right,
Page.
Yeah, you got more choices. Plain number, plain
Oh,
number
very
2. See, over to the left, instead of going to the right, it
Okay.
came up on the, oh. So bottom of page, then scoot over. Do you want it in the middle or on the right or on the left?
I think either the middle or on the right, personally.
Yeah, I'd go,
Right here?
Yep. That works.
so when you're flipping through the report.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
see,
so
yeah.
let's say 6th. All right, and, all right, let's do a table of contents. Or do we need that?
I think, I don't know, I think it's nice and condensed.
It's
this way.
such in-betweener. It's because of the appendices, really.
it's only 4 pages?
That's what I'm saying. It's-
Yeah. That's-
I think we should rename them sections and not put it in,
Yeah, take the item number
take
out.
the item and make it a
I wouldn't
section,
even, do you even have to put section?
or you could just,
Just introduction and goal.
or we could not number them, that would be the other way to do it. Yeah, let's do that.
Like this?
Yep. And then same thing down there. And if we have to make it more complex next year because it's a bigger report, we'll do that.
I just think you have to put appendices then after the end of the report.
Right.
After our signature.
After our signature.
Right.
You guys got it.
Are we meeting before the 17th?
We could if we had to.
I mean, is it inappropriate to share
We can vote to approve this, pending necessary, with regards to necessary edits.
because the last thing I want to do is edit it on the 17th.
Correct.
Right. So in other words, we don't have to come back as a group, we can say we've approved this
We just, I just noticed something. Our goals this year will be,
this coming year.
this is year 1 and beyond.
Yeah.
Our goals are.
Or this
Yeah.
coming year, one or the other.
Our goals are,
Okay,
Boy, that was moving pretty quick too. That was a good catch.
All right. And then you can actually delete a line here.
all right, well, we'll get that moved over somehow. It's being stubborn right now and wants to stay in the middle.
That's fine.
yeah, you're gonna have to play with it too.
Yeah, I'll get it.
And then just after that, put appendices.
Yeah.
Just leave Eric Bernard's name off of it. Well, it'll work out fine.
Appendices, and you'll see on these things I just put on the top.
You could put anonymous.
Yeah.
I
How about
put-
this?
I
What's,
put
today's
addendum
the
too, but
6th,
they're
right?
not addendums.
And the 17th is what day?
You need to put.
Monday, week from Monday.
How can we do this?
Are you putting appendices in?
Yeah, you certainly can.
We'll just at least type the word so you know you have to.
Go down further, because you have two more names.
Oh, it's absolutely correct.
What is appendix A?
Appendix, yeah, we're gonna have to give names to each of the
Appendix
appendix.
A, Appendix B.
Appendices. Oh,
Just appendix A and appendix B.
Do appendix A and then give whatever it's titled.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do it now. Just-
No,
If you do that, then just put A space. Yeah, I don't think you need the word, you don't need the word appendix again.
this day?
Yeah.
A and what it is.
Wow, if he knows off the top of his head, he's cooking with gas now.
The, um, uh,
Backup, data.
We've
what would I have it listed here as? The high priority, recommended list and, master list and high priority list.
Okay, just follow high priority list, that's fine.
But just remember, you need copies of those two reports, and on the top of it, say
Yep.
appendix. Oh, you do contract work.
Ooh. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, what's-
I'm not gonna. Let me see, let's see. Can't see.
Let's do this. Why don't you send it to everybody on the committee? You're only allowed to send it back to me if you have any edits. Don't send it to each other. And I'll include whatever anybody, if it fits, I'll put it in.
Understood, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
on the record.
good work.
Okay, motion to close?
Motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor, before I fall asleep.
Okay, how do we log out now? Mike, that's up to you.
So are you gonna do one more drive through it and,
I did not do it like that last time.